They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Some people. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Yeah. Back again. It's the Pharaoh and the Messiah doing it both ways. Or is it doing it twice ways? I'm not sure about the twice ways, but yeah. It is the Pharaoh and the Messiah. Um, hi peeps, hi people, hi guys. It's TP in the house. I'm back at it again. Let me close up. So this is gonna be a short one. The last video I posted, I think it was about Sheila Jade. A couple of, not saying that people are calling me cap, not that I give a fuck if people think I'm telling the truth or not. Like that's your own baby to deal with, How do I like to say it? I'm responsible for what comes out of this mouth or what comes out of this throat chakra, and you are the responsible one to I don't know. I need to cut that part out. But basically what I like saying is I'm responsible for what comes out of my mouth, and I'm not responsible for how you receive it. How you receive it, part of it is totally up to you. Screw that. I'm not even cutting any shit out. So the last video about Sheila Jade, I basically mentioned, but in passing, I mentioned that I dream about things to come. Sometimes I dream about things that already happened, and yeah. So I think what got people fucked up. I'm tired. I think what got people fucked up is the fact that I said sometimes I dream about things that are gonna happen tomorrow. Sometimes I'm gonna dream about things that happen next week, and ever since I started taking shit legit, I would dream of things that would happen 6 months prior. Before it even happens, I would already know that such thing is gonna happen, and it specifically boils down to my own life experience and what I go through in life. You know. So I'm making this short video just to emphasize on that dream part and to give you a couple of examples of shit does really happen to me. Like I'm about that life. Like when I say that life is a dream, or not even life is a dream. How can I put it? Oh, today my phrases are off. Okay, let me put it like this. When will I be saying living the dream? I'm talking about that dream. Like I'm for real be living a dream. Life is a dream, So let me give you a couple of examples. Yesterday, I'm talking about something that happened today, and I had no idea that it was gonna happen today. But yesterday, I was in town. I was walking on my own, and I was passing. Those who know my town will know what I'm talking about. I was passing, or I was crossing the intersection here. Am I even allowed to say these words here? I was passing the intersection here, price, going towards price. So, hona mo cornering eo ya price, there were these two guys standing with cameras. You know how these cats be, like they wait for you to approach, and while you approach they be snapping a couple of photos. Once you get to them, then they show you what photos they took. And in the dream, I actually told the guy, I don't have cash on me, not today, maybe another day. And then he's like, okay, cool, Sharpo, thank you for your time anyways, and I continued about my business. So, and other things happened in the dream that I'm not going to mention because it's not related to what I'm trying to say here. So you guys, is not related to what I'm trying to say here. So the rest of the stuff that goes on to happen in the dream, maybe they're still gonna happen, but I'm specifically focusing about these two guys. So today, when I wake up in real life, when I wake up, my mom sent me somewhere in town. But anyways, I was still gonna go to town because I was gonna be about my business, you know, and and you know what's interesting about this whole thing to me, anyways, not to anyone else, but to me, you know what's interesting about this thing is, ever since growing up in my town, I've never ran into those guys that taking photos for 10 rand and they send the photos digitally to your phone via WhatsApp, blah blah blah. I never seen guys like that. I don't even know, or I never knew that guys like that do exist in my hometown. You see? So that's the very interesting thing. So for me, when I woke up as a dream, I wasn't even thinking about it. I wasn't like, okay, someone's gonna take a photo of me. I wasn't even there. So I went about my business. I'm fixing my car, so I need a couple of parts. So I had to wake up very early before the hardwares could open, and so that I can get the parts. So I woke up with my son, and my son decided to gallivant with me in town. So I was like, ah, cool, come, man, you can take along. So while we're busy gallivanting, I'm busy comparing prices. I'm basically checking for the lowest price. So from one hardware to the other hardware, along the way, my son is like, I'm hungry, dad. I didn't get breakfast, you know? It's like, ah, cool, I'll grab you a burger. I'm not sure about calling all these franchises, you know? But yeah, I told him, yeah, I'll get you a burger. And he's like, oh, yeah, plus I love the burgers more than. And he also wanted a milkshake. So I got him burgers and fries with a milkshake. So on he's the one that actually took us off course, because from one warehouse I was gonna go to the other warehouse, but then the franchise is on the other block. So we had to change our course just so I can get my son some burgers, fries, and a milkshake. Cool. So on our way to that franchise, this is where now these niggas started snapping photos at me. At first, I didn't see what they actually doing because I wasn't paying attention, and my attention or my focus wasn't on them. So I was on my phone at the same time I was looking at my son. Like, what is he doing in life? What is he looking at? So when I picked up my head to see what my son is looking at, only then I see that these guys are actually taking photos of me. Then I started laughing out loud because that's a deja vu moment. Like in my dream, two niggas were taking photos of me. Now in real life, I'm working with my son, and two niggas are definitely taking photos of me. So I broke out loud. And I did stop and I did request to see the photos. The photos were fire! The photos were fire! Of course, I had cash on me. I paid him. He sent me the photos via WhatsApp. And that's now one perfect example of what I'm talking about when I say I believe in a dream. I dreamt about it the previous night before, and today it happened. As for the rest of the dream, it didn't happen. So I'm figuring it's still gonna happen sometime in the future. That's one example. The other example, let me see if I can just get maybe 2 or 3 days apart. Oh, that's easy. The other example, it was me and my friends. We were here at Skumba's Haven. Those that stay around my block will know what Skumba's Haven is. We were there having a picnic and we were drinking. And I think I dreamt about that the Monday. And that coming Saturday, I wasn't even planning to go because the weather wasn't looking okay. that Saturday, a friend of mine called me to convince me that we should all gather at Skumba's Haven. I was like, yeah, dude, but the forecast says 16% of rain. And it was pretty cloudy that morning, you know. But in the dream, like, everything is perfect. The sun is out, we in shorts. A couple of my friends were swimming, you know, and we were having a good time. The only thing I can't remember about the dream is if we were braaiing or not. But that Saturday, we ended up braaiing because my friend convinced me, like, hey, dude, today is a perfect day. So that's one of the things. Like, for me, I don't see it coming, but once I'm in the moment, because I really love living my life in the moment, like, I'm always caught up in the moment. I am a present being, or I am a present soul. So the more present I am, it's the more these waves of life is a dream are just hitting me, like, life is a dream, life is a dream, life is a dream, you know. So that's what happens basically. So that afternoon, yeah, I ended up being convinced, like, okay, I guess today I'm chilling with my friends and I'm drinking and I'm getting shit faced and, you know, I'm getting drunk. So we met up. I took a cooler box. We didn't have a brass stand. We got a brass stand when we got there, actually. And Dumisani is the one that actually suggested that we go get meat. You know, we went to our local butcher. We bought meat because the prices are very reasonable. We got meat. Okay, they got meat. Let me not even twist it up. They got meat. I didn't go to the butcher. Me and Tabo, we went to the bottle store. We went to go get the alcohol. Yeah, we went to go get the alcohol. We got there and everything was okay. When we got home, a couple of my guys, I think like two guys of mine, they didn't have shorts for swimming. So I ended up coming back home, getting the shorts, then we go in there. When we got there, it didn't hit me until we were all standing in the half moon type of formation and we all had our alcohols in the hand. So what clicked is, in the specific dream, Spanbani was holding a Ventuk draft. Spanbani was holding a flying fish. Spanbani was holding a Corona, you know. I think I can say those names, but yeah. So that's when it hit me hard, like, hey, I dreamt about this. So when that moment happened, trust me, it happens so often. I'm sure on a good day, it happens like 3 times in a day. 3 times in a day, I'll be hitting deja vu dreams that I've had way before. Some will be 3 weeks before, some will be like a day before, some will be like, but in one day, that's how freaky this shit is. So because I'm used to this thing happening to me, when it happens, I always think back to when was the dream. You know, I've had instances where I would mix up the dates because in the dream it looked like a specific day, but when I woke up, it was on a certain day. So in the future, when that dream happens, I get mixed up between what day it was in the dream and what day it was in this reality when I saw what is happening now at the current moment happening. You know? So I don't know if we get there, but yeah, that's how sometimes I mix up the dates. So when this happened that Saturday, I thought about it. I was like, hey, but not so long ago, I dreamed about this moment. And I was like, when was this? And it clicked. I was like, hey, this Monday, I dreamt about this. And I turned and I told my friend. That's what I always do. Like, this is way beyond deja vu. Like, deja vu is like catching yourself reliving a moment you've lived before, and that's what you call deja vu. But what I am having, I think it's I think sometimes I think it's way deeper than deja vu, because I've never read or I've never came across someone that would have like deja vu moments like 3 times in a day and with separate dreams. I call them dreams because I know I dream. You know, I know I dream. That's the thing with the deja vu moment. With a deja vu moment is not a dream. It's like an epiphany. When you have an epiphany, you know you were there before. and it was in real life. It wasn't in a dream, it was in real life when you had that epiphany. So when that epiphany happens in the current present moment, that's a deja vu. But with me, I can't call what's happening with me a deja vu because I'm not having an epiphany. I see all these things in a dream. Like when I wake up in a dream, I know I'm dreaming because I am so used to my dream state that I know what's happening in the previous stages or in the early stages of me discovering this age. And I still need to tell you guys how I actually noticed that such things is happening to me. It took one very big dream for me to actually realize, oh shit, I'm living the dream, yeah. It's got something to do with my teenage years, and I was still attending school, so what I saw myself doing was 10 years ahead, and when it happened 10 years ahead, that's when I was like, yeah, whatever is happening to me is the realest shit that has ever happened in my whole entire life. So, yeah. So I can't call it a deja vu. So for the mere fact that I dream it before it happens, it can't be a deja vu, I've went to churches. I won't say the different type of churches. Like you must remember, I'm raised Christian, so I've went on a couple of churches, from the Catholics to the and the Yeah, so I've been to let me just say my whole entire Christianity life, because I ain't a Christian no more, but in my whole entire Christianity life, I've went to like 4 to 5 different churches or parts of the church, because the church is one body. So I would say I went to 4 different types of parts of the church. So I've went to church and they've told me that basically I have a gift, or yeah, I am gifted. I'm spiritually gifted, and gifted thing, obviously they will tell you like I'm a prophet, or get a prophet, get a prophet. And they're pretty accurate actually. They come to think about it, like thinking back about what I was told in church, they're very accurate. So I was told in church that no, I'm a prophet, and the prophetess comes in the form of a dream. In the form of a dream. I was like, whoa. And I think the latest one I went to, she told me, or the latest church I went to, she told me that it comes in the form of a church. No, man. I'm mixing up my words. It comes in the form of a dream, but it's really not a dream. So I asked her, "What is it?" And she says, "It's a vision. It's a vision. They prophesy through me in the form of a vision." So I was like, "Yeah, but why do I see it as a dream?" And then she said, "Maybe it's because your spiritual eye is still kind of half closed, half open." So your spiritual eye can discern what is a vision and what is a dream, and So, and I asked her, well, on top of her saying that, I still asked her, so does that mean that I do dream? You know? She's like, yeah, like everyone normally dreams. It's just that with you can't separate what's a dream and what's a vision. So the way she explained it to me is that a vision can still happen in your awake state. You don't have to be sleeping to get a vision, but it can still happen in your awake state. It's just a state you need to go to, just like a meditative state. It's just like a state you need to go into for you to start seeing these visions, but she said it comes with a practice. So what she said made sense because I can't dream in my awake state. I have to be sleeping for me to be in a dream. I have to be out of this body, this vessel, for me to be in my dream state, because when I am in my dream state, I am in my light body, hence I see everything. I see color, I see I I smell, I touch, I feel, I do all these senses that these senses in this physical body can do, you know? So that's what she told me. And I do believe her. Every person that has told me that I'm gifted and they've told me that I'm a prophet in that manner, I really do believe, you know. It's just that, oh my God, I need to go take a nap. It's just that I never got to be convinced to join a certain force. Like, no, join us, you know, we can use your gifts for this and this and this to help who and who. Or join us so that you can use your gifts for this and this and this. Or join this group. Like, I was never convinced to join a certain entity for me to awaken my prophecy fully so that I can. The reason why is because by the time you get to awaken your abilities or your gifts fully to the extent, you always find yourself under someone's control. And once you are under someone's control, it means that they're using your gift for their own good or for their own benefit. So I never got convinced to join a certain group because they want to use my gifts for this and this and that. So nah, I never even gave them a chance, you know. I was told that hey, for you to access this gift, you need to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You need to do that. You need to slaughter for your ancestors. You need to for what you need to what in this church. Like nah, I never did none of them, and my gift never went away. Instead, it got worse. You know, I know some of you are gonna say I have a calling, but it's not the first time people have told me that. You know, it doesn't even phase me anymore, cause for me it's not a calling. It will never be a calling. It's something I'm born with. I know I'm gonna get people that are gonna try to convince me otherwise. Trust me, you can give it your best shot. You can't even convince me of shit I am going through. It's shit that you are not going through. It's shit that I am going through. So you can never convince me of shit that I am going through. That hell no, it's not this. It's not what you think. It's this. Like nah. Don't even waste your time with me. You know, don't. It's not even about time. Don't even waste your energy with me. So, yeah, let me not make it a long video. I'm already 25 minutes in. So, yeah, I hope that explains what I meant the last time when I was basically talking about She Legit's benefits and how the whole She Legit thing happened. And just so I mentioned this in passing that I dream about things to come and I dream about things to happen, and this is what I meant. I gave you guys a couple of examples today. I think the Saturday one, chilling with my friends, was the last one. Let me think of something else. A lot of times I've dreamt about my son, but he was still in his mother's womb. That's one other example I can think of, me dreaming of things 6 months down the line. Like I've dreamt a lot about my son in my hands. There was only one dream. Hey guys, like this is very important. There was only one dream where the variables were kind of like way off, you know. So with these variables, my son was a daughter, and kind of freaked me out because I have a lot of dreams. Like I had plus minus 8 dreams of him prior to me dreaming about him as a girl. You know, it kind of shook me. It kind of shook me because in the dream, I can't even say who, but someone was passing her to me, you know. So before they gave me her, because I think I requested her. I was like, hey, where's my kid? And then someone in the gym was like, oh, here's your kid. And then before I picked her up, I was like, she's in a dress. Then they're like, yeah, what do you think? It's a she. So I got her and I was like, I inspected her, you know, I was like, is yours mine? And she gave me that look that I don't know, kids always give you. Like your own kid will give you that look just for you to confirm that this is you in another different version. So she gave me that look like, nigga, I'm you. I was like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. You mines. You definitely mines. But then now with carrying her, I was like, she was like what, 2 months old. She was 2 months old because I could tell she's still breastfeeding, and she was the cutest thing ever. So when I woke up, I was like, I looked at my at my pregnant person, and I was like, for a second, because I was sleeping next to her. When I had that dream, I was sleeping next to her. So for a second, I looked at her like, and I never minded that. But I would have dreams of me and my son before he was born. So that is now the last example I'll give you of whatever it is that's going on with me. That I would dream of things 6 months prior for to them happening, you know. And his birth was very specific. His birth was super specific because on his birth, I can't say I was drunk, but I was drinking that day. When I got the call, I was drinking. When she called me, I was okay. But that dream happened way before I even forgot. I'll tell you what reminded me that I actually had that dream. It was on my way to the hospital. What I did when I got to the hospital definitely reminded me that I dreamt about this moment. So the moment she called me, I was at Centurion Chisanyama. I was having the time of my life. It was on about 8:30 in the evening. It was on. It wasn't on a Thursday. Cause Thursdays I would go to Richburg's for student night. I think it was on a Friday. He was born on a Saturday. I think it was on a Friday. I don't know. I'm not sure about the days. I'm not sure about the days. But it was around about 8:30 in the evening. I'm just not sure which day. Cause yeah, I did a lot of clubbing. Just before my son got born. Everything changed when he was born. So I dropped everything I was doing. Oh, I had alcohol. So I spoke with the security. They're like, nah, man, you can leave with your alcohol. So I was like, yeah, awesome stuff. Mind you, I was alone. Coach Sanyama. Okay, obviously, I always socialize and I find a group of people that I gravitate towards, that I end up sitting with. The chicks or the guys, whoever I might be chilling with, I'm not a sexist. They would end up having a hubby on the table, or if they didn't bring their own hubby, they would end up hiring a hubby. You know, I only mention that because this is the type of people I gravitate towards, and if for those that club, you can know that's about 60% of the people that go to Groovers. So yeah, I would gravitate to 60% of the people that are at Groovers. So I never worried about going to Groovers alone. I never worried. I never worried about being kidnapped. I never worried about being drugged. I never worried. Instead, I would worry about them. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail why I would worry about them, but yay. I know my demons can come out to play. Anyways, um, I left with my alcohol, put my alcohol in the car, shoop, went to the hospital. I get to the hospital, they telling me now they closing the gate at 10. And they asked me if I'm gonna sleep over. It's like, no, 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 I'm not gonna sleep over. My wife is giving birth and I'm here for that, I'm here for my son. They're like, okay, Sharp, you can go in. So when I got there, okay, her water did break. That's why she had to call me. But then now she's still pacing in the room, she's still and doing all these funny things. And okay, I was waiting to see the doctor. So the doctor had already seen her. Oh my god. Excuse me. Excuse me. The doctor already seen her. I think this new flu is coming down on me. I'm just not sure, but I think this new strain of flu is coming down on me because I have a runny nose and yeah, it's a lot of things. So when I got there, the doctor already made his rounds. So I was waiting for him to make another round because you know how doctors are. Doctors make rounds every hour just to check on their patients. She was already booked in by the time I got to the hospital. I was like, ah, cool. Because they were expecting her at that hospital anyways because we already had a file open for her during the pregnancy. So once the water broke, they already had a bed reserved for her. So I'm cool. In about an hour, the doctor does make the round again. Obviously, you know what doctors do most. They check how wide you are, and she was still a couple of centimeters. So the doctor's like, "Alright, I'll see you again later on." So they're like, "What, nigga? What can she do to speed up this whole process? Because she's in pain. You must understand. I'm not in a hurry for my son, but I feel bad for my wife because she's in pain. So what else can we do?" She's like, what she can do is she can start squatting or she can do like a couple of exercises. He gave her a couple of exercises to do, and just to bear with the pain, she was just walking around the ward, man. She was just walking around pushing that, I think it's a drip. She was pushing the drip and she was going, ooh, 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 baby, come rub my back, all that stuff. So now, you must understand now, I'm a bit sloshed, I'm a bit sloshed, and I just realized that, fuck, shit, I haven't had dinner and I'm hungry as fuck, So I had an evil, very brilliant idea. I passed through my wife, of course. I was like, hey, baby, you know what? I should go get you takeaways, just to take the pain away from your mind, She's like, oh, food would be good right now because I'm not about to eat this hospital bullshit. I was like, yeah, I know my person, I know my wife. Of course, she was going to agree to me going to go buy food. Guess what I do when I get to the car? I see that I still have alcohol, and that's when it hit me. That's when it hit me that I had this dream before. When I got to the car in the hospital and I saw the alcohol, I took one and I opened it and I started drinking it while I'm still sitting in the car. That's when that deja vu moment hit. I was like, hey, I dreamt about my son being born in this specific type of ish environment ish. And one thing I remembered is while she was pushing, one of the nurses was gonna tell me that I smell of alcohol. So I already expected her to tell me that because I was now still drinking. I had like five 320 mils in the car with me. They're very cold because they're from ice. They're very cold. So I was like, hey, okay, when I go back in there, after eating, of course, but when I go back in there, the nurses are gonna tell me that I stank. Like, cool. This is when now it reminded me. So just to finish off the birth process, because it's a nice story. I actually never told anyone this. This is my first time saying this on a video. So, but anyways, it's going to my channel. So, hey, you know. So guess what I do after opening that beer? I'm not thinking, what am I gonna have? Obviously, I know what she's gonna have. I can't say the franchise, but it's her favorite franchise to have, especially for dinner. She has a favorite for lunch and she has a favorite for dinner. And then breakfast is always the red M. I don't know why she would eat the red M for breakfast, but woo! I don't know. But for me, breakfast, anyways, Centurion, Gene Crossing, Subways all the way. I don't mind telling them because it's a form of advertisement. So it's free advertisement for me because I love Subways. I would have Subways like for breakfast certain days. Alright, cool. So so I already know what to go get her. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me call ahead. I'm calling where the place I'm just from, the place where I was drinking. I called them. I was like, yo, can I please have a 80 rand plate? Don't put in verse. Just give me a steak and give me this and give me pork. So they're like, "Ah, cool. It'll be ready in 45 minutes." They don't sell plates, but you buy, man. It's a chisanyama. You buy, you go buy meat and then they buy it for you. So they did that for me. I called in and I was like, can you guys buy one piece of this, one piece of this, one piece of this for me? They're like, "I'm cool. Your meal will be ready for collection in 45 minutes." I was like, "I'm cool." In that 45 minutes, let me go get my wife's food. Let me go order, wait for the food, and once the order is done, I'll go down to Chesanyama. So I got there. I already know what she wants. I knew my person like inside out. Like I made it my responsibility to know her. So I already ordered, and then yeah, she likes her meal in a specific spicy manner. But ever since she was heavily pregnant with my son, she couldn't take those spices anymore. So I had to tone it down a bit. I had to get a mild. It's either mild or lemon and herb. But I think that day I got her lemon and herb. And she hated me for that because she needed something spicy that night because of the pain. Yo, that's woman for you. So yeah, I went there, waited for my person's order. I got my person's order. Chisanyam. I get the vele, my food is ready. The only thing I forgot to tell him was takeaway. So when I got there, my food was just waiting for me. I was like, "No, man, can you please wrap it up for me because I'm not gonna sit and eat here. I need to take away." Okay, sharp, boom. They whipped it up for me. They whipped it up. Got my food. I still have my alcohol, so I'm good. I wasn't about to go buy more alcohol like I'm going crazy. Like, I'm not crazy, bruh. I still have my alcohol in the car. And yes, I am driving like that. I am driving like that. Got to the car, shoop, hospital. When I get there, the gates are already closed because it's way beyond 10. I think I got there something like 11 o'clock or past 11. The gates are already closed. So I had to explain myself. Luckily, the guards at the gate, they swapped around. Their shift ended. So it was like I was telling a new story. So I was like, "Nah, man, I'm here for my wife. She's giving birth. Her water broke and she got admitted. So I'm gonna be here the whole night." So yeah, the person was kind enough to open the gate for me, and I went in. So I went in. I took her food up, and I remember there was a couple of people in her ward. I don't know what they were doing with her. So I dropped her the food and I told her I'll be in the car eating because obviously I can't go with the alcohol in the hospital. So she said, "Cool, but as soon as I'm done eating, I must come join you." It's like, "Ah, cool, sure." I went to the car. I ate. Started drinking. I was even thinking of how to sneak it in. Like maybe I should throw it in a squeeze bottle and then go up with it. Thinking funny things. Like when my demons come out to play, they really play hard. They really play hard. So I ended up drinking like maybe 2 beers in the car, and I was like, "Nah, man, let me go up." When I went up, it was something like past 12. I got there, nothing was happening. She was still in pain. I got bored and I ended up falling asleep. on the chair. You know, through her e's and ainas and oohs and ahs, I fell asleep. It's nothing I'm used to. It's nothing I'm not used to. So I fell asleep. I got woken up by a nurse. She got moved. She got moved, and they're like, okay, we're admitting you, but he can't come. You know, he'll come after the whole setup. It's like, I'll cool sharp, and then I went back to sleep. And then I was waking up 4:30, 20 past 4. 20 past 4, to tell me that my wife is about to give birth. And when I got there, she was already pushing. You know, I didn't see anything, but she was already pushing because they were telling her to push. So I got there, and only then they were dressing me. They gave me a gown, and then they gave me those hospital shoes, and then they gave me something for my head, and yeah, they gave me gloves too. Only then I was able, or I was let in. So after being let in, I had two choices: either stand by her bedside, hold her hand, and tell her to push, or I can stand at the back with the doc receiving. I was like, whoop, I'm standing at the back with the doc. I also want to receive my soul in this dimension, you know, in this incarnation, you know. So I was at the back with the doc, and yeah, I saw everything. I saw everything. But I think it was a flashback, man. Somehow, some way, I think it was kind of a deja vu for me that my mom was giving birth to me. I don't know why that thought came to me, but in a sense of it's my son, it was in a sense of they are giving birth to me, you know, my mom and my wife. It was like they were giving birth to me. I don't know how to explain that feeling, man. Like, I knew I wasn't losing my mind. I knew very well that the person on this bed is my wife and she's giving birth to my son. But a piece of my soul felt like we've done this before. A piece of my soul felt like I am being birthed right now. And in a literal sense, I was being birthed because my son is a piece of me, you know. So I went through birth twice that day. Only that day, only that specific day, I went through birth twice because I've been birthed a lot of times, and I'm not even gonna go into a lot of that. It's another story for another day. So yeah, he landed, and mind you, here's the funny part. Mind you, that time the nurse hasn't told me anything that I smell of alcohol. I killed it because I had a good night rest, bro. I had a super nap because I slept couple more past 12 and they woke me up at 20 past 4. So that's more or less take or give 4 hours. That's a power nap, you know. And I'm still under it. I'm still under the influence, my guy. So the doctor gets him, gives me scissor. It's like, nigga, do the honors. You can cut the umbilical cord. I was like, okay. It's like, whoa, 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 not there. It's too close to the tummy. So I had to shift it up a little bit and nipped it. So yeah, they wrapped him up, and then they're like, hey, hold here for a second. So I held. He was still crying anyways. There's nothing I could do for him to stop crying. Like, he was still crying. Although he knew it was me holding him, he was still crying, you know? And then they took him away. And then they said I should go away with him because they were about to stitch her up and fix her up, you know? Because, yeah, birth is not easy. So I went away with my son, with the nurses. Only when we get that side, this fucking nurse has the nerve to tell me that I smell of alcohol. It's like, bitch, yeah. Yeah. I was at Chisanyamo before they called me. Like, yeah, so what? Get over it, you know? I almost said suck a dick, but, you know, who am I? And I'm not God. So, yeah. I was there that side. And then they left me alone because they told me that they're gonna go shower him or they're gonna bathe him. Yeah, they're gonna bathe him. It's like, oh, cool. She's like, oh, but you can sit here, take out his starter pack for now, and then we'll come get these starter packs. And then because here's the hospital. The hospital, yes, I have a starter pack bag with me, but then they use their own things. They use their own soap. They use their own baby clothes. They even gave him that onesie. That first onesie he was in, that's from the hospital. I didn't buy that. I already went there to the hospital with 5 different onesies for his birth. But then they gave him a onesie. So when he came back, he was wrapped around, and even the formula milk, the first formula milk your baby has, is coming from the hospital. I don't even know what brand is that, but it comes pre-mixed. And they gave me I wasn't even using those bottles, man, because I bought him his own, like titty bottles. Like that one that looks like a titty. I bought him those bottles with my own cash. But then they gave me this other funny looking bottle there. It's a very cheap bottle. I wasn't happy that his first suck was from a fucking cheap bottle. I didn't like that, but yeah, it's a shitty world, man. It's a fucking shitty world. So, yeah, they gave me to him, and then they said, now you can feed him so that he can stop crying. And then after feeding him, then we'll take measurements and weigh him and do all these funny things. So, I'm gonna end it there because now, yeah, the story wasn't to tell you about my personal experience with my son. It was just to tell you that I had a dream about my son before he was even birthed, and I knew how it was gonna go down. But yeah, peace out, guys.